Brazil is a big, epic strategy game released by Portal Games in November last year. And there's no way I can explain you the whole game in 3 minutes, but I will give you at least an overview of the game. And the game is epic. It plays over 3 eras. For each era, players have different goals, different access to different buildings, and things are changing in terms of the rules. At the very beginning of the game, in the setup phase, each of you will draw 2 cards from the first era, 2 cards from the second era, and 3 cards for the third era. And these cards are your goals. From these 6 cards, you will pick 3 cards that you think that you can achieve, and this is your whole plan for the game. These cards will tell you how many buildings you need to build, what type of building you want to build, what people you want to meet through the portraits, through the paintings rules. So this is your plan for the whole game, and now the player who will execute the plan the best, the more efficient, will probably win the game. How we win the game, how we make the action. The game is super simple in terms of the rules. You have 5 basic actions. And these basic actions, you actually can sit and play just right from the bat because it's so simple. So one of these actions is deploy. That means that you take one of your forces. You have 5 different units, and each player has different units, by the way. You take one of your units, let me take, for instance, cavalry. I pay the cost of the cavalry, and they show up on the board in my city. And now from this round on, I can move this cavalry over the board. They can discover new lands. They can discover new discoveries. They can go to other players' cities and occupy them. Lots of fun with new units. Then you can go to the paintings action, and the paintings action allows you to meet new people, meet some celebrities, some new discoveries, and each discovery, each painting gives you special abilities. So this is how you get, and we gamers love them, all these special abilities. There is 3 different decks of paintings, so lots of replayability, and they give you special powers. If you build a building, get that stuff. If you build this unit, get that stuff. Your units shoot better, etc., etc. So as you can imagine, on this deck of different paintings, you have a lot of abilities. The other action you can do is a building, and of course is a strategy game. So yes, we are going to build a lot of buildings. We are going to build them adjacent to our starting city, and then we'll grow our empire and grow with the new buildings. And we are going to build a sawmill, we are going to build farms, we are going to build palaces, and all of them will be put adjacent to our starting palace. The buildings are divided into 3 eras mentioned earlier. So in a first era, we have access to build 4 unique buildings. When this era ends, we will get access to build another 4 buildings, and then in the last era, we'll have access to build the last 2 buildings, church and academy, epic buildings that give us a lot of victory points. So this is a building action. We want to have a lot of buildings because they give us resources and special powers. And then there is a renovate action, and this renovate action allows us to activate our buildings and get more resources, or even change these buildings into the new ones, change them to something different. And the last basic action is manufacture, and this is a small, very smart rule of tech tree. So you have a chance to adjust and change each of your actions with one small tweak, with one small rule. So manufacture action allows you to take a special token, put it on your board, on your action board, and this particular action will change and will work better for you. And we all love tech trees and changing our actions to be better. We have also 2 additional actions. That is a trade and there is a harbor, and that allows us to trade resources, to change them, and to get more powers. There's of course combat rules. There's obviously special cards, special abilities. There are capitals that we can build that give us a lot of victory points, but cause us a lot of resources. Lots of things happen in this game, but basically it's epic, stunning production. Brazil, the Empire, beautiful game from Brazilian designers and publishers.